Hello, how you doing? We'll talk about this. Is God a racist? Particularly, is he a racist against black people? A resounding no. Okay, God's not white anyway. Okay, but anyway, what does the scripture say? Out of Egypt I have called my son. Mary and Joseph fled to Egypt. Uh, they had to have looked like the Egyptians because otherwise the Egyptians would have said, "Look, these are white folks in our property. Let's go get them." Okay, I won't get much into that. But God, it says in scripture that God totally destroyed Egypt. Why? God did not have an issue with Egyptians' race. Is what they were doing. They were extreme idolaters, worshiping apples and oranges. They were freely cavorting with devils. All those statues you see are Nephilim. They were probably having sex. Egyptian women could have been having sex with devils. That's why they got all these strange and writings on hieroglyphics and stuff like that. They were freely mixing with animals. That's why they have a half alligator, half man, ugly too. But the Egyptians were doing all that. They were doing all these abominations, taking human DNA or human sperm and mixing them with animals, alligators, eagles, etc. That's what the Sphinx is. The Sphinx is part man, part lion. And those are abominations. They were freely cavorting with the Nephilim because that's why those statues are so tall. Those statues are made to scale. That's why they're so tall. Those are Nephilim. The Nephilim were cavorting with the animals. They were mixing their DNA with the animals. That's why the Sphinx is so tall, because you got Nephilim mixed it with a lion. That's why the Sphinx is so tall. But I guess the Egyptians were cavorting with the fallen angels, the rebel angels, because that's why they had so much knowledge about geometry and this, that, and the other. I guess that's what they wanted, was knowledge and the secrets of the universe, the secrets of nature, and so on. That's what God's issue with the Egyptians was. And frankly, that's what God's issue was with. That's why Israel got judged, because they were idolaters and cavorting with devils and so on. So God judged them. But that's what God had issues with a whole lot of other ethnic groups, the Ammonites and the Canaanites, etc., because they were cavorting with devils. They were cavorting with the Nephilim, having sex with them. They were having sex with animals, producing all kinds of specimens and so on. So that's what God's issue with all these ethnic groups that he destroyed. And he destroyed the children because those children really could have been offspring of Nephilim. We don't know. But the children had, whatever the parents knew the children were going to do, the children had the knowledge of all this interaction, so he had to destroy all of them. That's why he destroyed. That's why he destroyed all these ethnic groups, because they were destroying the human genome. And he just had to get rid of them. Now, right now, there's a lot of perversion. There's a lot of abomination. You got the dog man, who's part wolf and part man. I personally think that the dog man was created in the 1950s. A veterinarian just took his sperm and impregnated 2 or 3 she wolves, and so here we got the dog man. I think the Bigfoot was happened about maybe 1,000 years ago, in the time of Columbus, and they got the female gorilla is only about this big. So I think the sailors had sex with the female gorilla, so now we got Bigfoot. And then there's a swamp man. The swamp thing in the movie, we thought that was fiction, but it isn't. There is a swamp thing. This swamp thing can breathe air and breathe water. But he walks on 2 legs, which means he has human DNA. Now, I guess that thing was created in the lab too. Some man impregnated a Komodo dragon or a salamander or something, because this swamp thing can breathe air and water. But he walks on 2 legs. So these are monsters that people are creating. The giants are still living. God did kill most of them, but that's another topic. But no, God is not a racist. The reason why he has killed a lot of these ethnic groups because they were extreme idolaters. They were doing all kinds of abomination, not only homosexuality, children, harlotry, all kinds of sexual perversions. They were having sex with animals, etc. That's why God destroyed a lot of these ethnic groups. it had nothing to do with what color their skin were. It's just what they were doing um, that offended God. Have a nice day.